Hi, my name's Kelly. I'm a nutritional therapist, and this week I'm going to speak to you all about the collective binge that we enter into Christmas and how the diet industry uses that to trap you in January. Now, I was researching, and the diet industry is worth £200 billion globally. That is a hell of a lot of money. And over the years, I've kind of observed and I've spoken to my clients, and you realise, and I'm very cynical here, the diet industry is so profitable in January because we're in a big binge and restrict cycle. So in December, and this actually starts from when we are very, very small, when our parents told us unknowingly, don't eat that, we're saving it for Christmas. No, you can't have that, we're saving it for Christmas. I'm sure it wasn't just my house. No, you can't open that, it's for Christmas. And there's so many foods that are off limits throughout most of December. And then in that one small, tiny week, you're allowed to eat whatever you want. It's a collective binge. No one says anything. It's actually acknowledged that we will all get uncomfortably full. Our stomachs feel stuffed. We feel like we cannot squash another thing in. And that is completely socially acceptable. But what's happening here on a deeper level is that we, over the course of time and over the course of overconsumption in terms of social events, mass overconsumption the week of Christmas and New Year, we head into January and we feel horrific. And then the marketing of the diet industry jumps on our pain points around feeling ashamed, around feeling that we've kind of let ourselves go, around New Start January. But on a deeper level, it's just the binge and restrict cycle playing out on a bigger scale. Now, so many people think Christmas is the problem. I do this every Christmas. I always overeat. So many people literally just say, I'll start again in January. Christmas, I'm just going to eat whatever I want. It's Christmas. Collectively, we encourage people to join in overconsumption food, overconsumption alcohol. Don't worry, you can be good in January. But Christmas doesn't actually have to be like that. And I teach my clients every single year, Christmas doesn't have to be all or nothing. You can opt out of this cycle. We don't have to actually eat to excess in order to enjoy ourselves. Most of us don't feel comfortable when we're eating to excess. For people that struggle with their relationship with food, this is a super challenging time of year when food noise can be extremely loud because it's everywhere. People bring extra things into the office. People go around people's houses and there's extra things. It can be such a challenging time of year to really honour your no and not find yourself people pleasing and not fall into that January trap of really feeling horrific about ourselves, which the diet industry absolutely benefits from. So what I want to remind you in this podcast is you're not powerless in December. Like, you're not fragile. You don't have to do what the collective are doing. You can remember how you felt previous Januaries. You can remember how overconsumption has felt. You can remember how you started the year in January swearing to yourself, right, that's it, this is the year I'm going to get fit, this is the year I'm going to get into my smaller jeans, this is the year I'm going to lose the weight, this is the year I'm going to do everything. And we set ourselves such high expectations, and they are born out of the level of, I want to say, self-disgust, and that sounds like a really strong word, but when people come to me in January and they've overconsumed sometimes well into the middle of November, all the way through December, it's almost an element of self-disgust that they feel, and they are desperate for change, and they are not desperate for sustainable changes that are actually going to last. They are desperate for wild shift and to see immediate results, and that just plays into this all or nothing mindset that's not sustainable and has people trapped in a cycle for years. So here's some ways that you can help yourself this December. The first one, and I'm holding your hand when I say this, eat like an adult in December. And what I mean by that is don't not enjoy yourself with anything, but still eat your regular 3 meals a day, still include vegetables, still include fruit, still understand that protein is still going to keep you the fullest for the longest, still try and add variety, but also allow you foods that are enjoyment, that are fun. But instead of eating them to the point where you physically cannot move, stop a little bit before that. I promise you the enjoyment isn't any less, especially if you allow yourself freedom and flexibility with the foods and you're telling yourself it's not now or never. I can have some now and I can have some at another time. You will enjoy it far more. The next one is to try and not make every single event about food. Christmas is such a lovely time in terms of meeting friends, meeting family, social occasions, gathering, but so often it can be so food focused. We can have like 10 events in a month and it's all food focused. So try and incorporate other things. Can you make a walk the event? Can you make spending time with the person the event? Can you eat at home and then meet up? Can you do things that just mean food is a part of your joy, but it's not the centerpiece, the focus, and the constant experience of joy through every single occasion that you have throughout December? Another tip that I would offer is really try and avoid the Last Supper mentality. Whenever we tell ourselves, this is the last time I can have this, or I can have this now, but come Monday, I can't have it anymore. Or I can have this through December, but come January, I'm not buying any of these types of foods. We are literally setting ourselves up for future failure. Where we want to get to is we can have any food in our house, and we are the people that choose when we have it and the amount we have. Now, for lots of people, that sounds like some kind of fairy tale land that they just don't live in, but I promise you it's possible. But we have to take these steps before to disengage ourselves from this all or nothing mindset, from this collective binge and restrict, from going so hard in December and over consuming so much that we feel horrific and ashamed come January, and then we go super hard in January, which never lasts till the 1st of February, and then we're back replaying that cycle throughout the whole entire year. If we want to break the cycle, we have to start now. We have to start at the point where we would usually start over consuming and say to yourself, I'm actually going to do it differently this year. Reflect back. Did you start January 2025 telling yourself this is the year you're going to get fit, this is the year you're going to lose weight, this is the year everything was going to be different for you? And are you sat here listening to me now and actually nothing much has changed? If that's you, break the cycle now and do this December differently. That Last Supper effect literally drives that type of behaviour. So remind yourself, this isn't the last time I can have this food. I don't need to eat to excess on this occasion. I can eat to an amount that I'm satisfied with, and I can enjoy this food on another occasion. Your mindset around food, your relationship with food dictates so much of your experience around food. If you have a healthy, strong, flexible, freedom mindset around food, you're going to have a much better experience.
Now, I'm going to delve a little bit deeper here and go into why the January promise feels so irresistible. And lots of people will say, oh, I lack willpower, so I'll just start again in January. But this is very predictable human behaviour. So the first reason is us humans love a fresh start. Like we love a birthday where we're going to be the next stage and we get to do things different. We love a Monday, we love a January. We absolutely love a fresh start. So the diet industry feeds into this collective fresh start. This year everything's going to be different, and the diet industry really leverages on that psychological high, that desire to have a fresh start, and goes all in with the diet marketing come January. The next thing that I see, and I see this quite often, is the avoidance of discomfort. And let me tell you, it is far easier to actually go into January with an aggressive diet plan, a meal plan, 1200 calories, than to sit with discomfort, to sit with shame, to not react hugely. As human beings, we veer towards the avoidance of discomfort. So shame, regret, fullness, feelings of loss of control, and we feel like we need to compensate. The diet industry pushes us to overcompensate, to aggressively go in hard, and our human psychology latches onto that because we would rather do that than sit with the discomfort, than take things slowly to address what the real challenges and what the real issues are here, so we're not repeating that same behaviour next year. We often will avoid discomfort even though logically we might know this is what I'm doing every January. It doesn't actually make sense and it never works out for me. We would still, most of us, rather do that than actually sit with the discomfort of looking at the deeper rooted issues. And the diet industry knows that and benefits from that. The next one is the identity challenge and the dopamine hit. So restrictive diets feel like control. They feel like discipline. They feel like I'm ready to get my life together now. And as humans, we love that dopamine hit of, right, this is it. This is the time. I'm doing it now. Nothing's standing in my way. I'm disciplined. I'm focused. I'm locked in. But the problem with that is it doesn't last. It's a dopamine hit. For most of us, it is wildly unsustainable longer term for our life, and it actually just sets us up for failure from the very beginning that we engage with it. So that initial diet that felt like the answer to your problems come January, felt like power, felt like a plan, felt like you're getting your life together, actually fades very quickly once the dopamine dies down. And the last one is the collective mindset. Everybody's doing it. Everybody, the world is on a diet in January. So it feels like the right thing to do. We are literally in a diet frenzy in January. If you're not dieting in January, you're probably the odd one out. As human beings, we don't want to be the odd one out. So collectively, we tend to do what the people around us are doing. But with all of these things, none of it actually lasts. When we massively overconsume in December and then we hugely restrict in January, come February, we're left realising we're in the same pattern as we were last year. Nothing's changed, and then no doubt we'll go through that entire year losing weight, gaining weight, losing weight, gaining weight, binge, restrict, having a horrific relationship with food. Lastly, I'm going to leave you with this reflective question, and I'd really love you to take a moment to either journal on this or just give it some thinking time. If you didn't enter January full of regret, what decisions would you not make in December? I'm going to say that again. If you didn't want to enter January full of regret, what decisions would you not make in December? Really give that some thought. Really visualize what's the ideal December for you around food. What does it look like? What are you saying yes to? What are you saying no to? And how do you want to enter January 2026? Because it's completely possible for you to enter it in a way that you would love to, but the thinking about that and the implementing with that starts now. I hope that's been helpful. I'll see you next week.